What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to Keeping It Real Tea. I'm your host, Yolanda. I have an incredible show for you guys today. I have my friend here with me, Rony Francois, the credit hero. And we're here today to talk to you guys about some amazing tips and things that you could do and how credit really impacts your your life, how it impacts your life, how it impacts what you're doing when you're trying to get your business credit or your personal credit. And my guy's here today to teach us some tips. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for having me on your show. And kudos to you. You're definitely doing some big things, so I definitely appreciate. I've been on a few podcasts before, but this one's really special, because you've been trying to connect for a while. I definitely
Definitely.
appreciate you making the time to have me on.
Of course, I appreciate you. I've been following you. We've been following each other for almost probably about a year, like 6 months to a year now, I feel like. And so I've been seeing a lot that you've been doing, how you've been impacting the community. And as you know, Keeping It Real Tea show is about impact. So I love the impact. I love to educate, and I love authenticity. So I really want to push through to the viewers authentic, real knowledge and real information. When it comes to our credit, they don't teach us about this in high school. Unfortunately, you got to learn from many trials and error in order for you to get ahead of this. And what we're doing today is just trying to give some tips to people to prepare them and to unlearn what we've learned, right? And then learn how to do it the right way. When we're adults, it's so crazy because we got to unlearn some stuff
Yeah.
that we have learned how to do incorrectly. And Ronnie's here today, guys, and he's going to teach us about some things. Ronnie, tell us, how long have you been in the credit industry and just helping so many families?
Well, I've been in the credit industry about 5 years, but I've been in the financial industry about 10 years altogether.
Awesome, because you also have the financial wellness coach as well. So you're doing that too, which is amazing. And I just love how, again, you're impacting the community and just teaching what so many people are not reaching back out to teach. A lot of times when people learn about credit and we learn things that are good, we keep it for ourselves, right? And we do it for our business and we tell our close family and friends, but we don't share it with the world. And when we have a platform, what I wanted Keeping It Real Tea to be is a platform that can reach out, to be that, earbud, to be that ear, that listening ear that someone needs to hear good value and information. And so you've been doing this for over 5 years, well over, as far as the financial coach. And so what are some things that you see repeatedly that you want to help the community? What are some major things that you see?
Well, the most important thing is I just want to get that knowledge out there. Like you said, the school system don't teach us about credit. We learned about the Pythagorean theorem, photosynthesis, we dissect the frog, and and if you really old, you might have had home ec where you bake cookies and pies, but
Right.
they never touched on financial literacy, never touched on credit, and that's what really got me involved into it. At one point my credit was bad; it was like the low 400s, which is really bad because it starts at 300, so I was almost at the bottom. And
Wow.
it took me a while, a lot of trials and errors to figure out what I had to do, what I couldn't do, how to make it work. And then once I got my credit good, I'm like, I want to help other people too. So at
Mhm.
first, I was just randomly just helping people. They would reach out to me. I was sending the package, just free of charge. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can start this as a business. But then I want to take a step further. I'm like, well, I want to also make a positive impact on the youth because I learned about credit when I was maybe like 29, maybe 30. At that time, I think my son, he was like around like 9 years old. I'm like, you know what? I want to, just open up the doors for him and other kids. And
Mhm.
that's when I decided to write that book, Break the Cycle, Don't Have to Live with Bad Credit, because I want to have a positive impact on the school system too. Like I learned about credit when I was 29. He learned about credit when he was 9 years old. So he has a 20 years
Amazing.
head start because of the stuff that I implemented. My daughter, she's 15. She read my book. She liked it. So again, I just wanted to make a positive impact with the book because I didn't want to just keep the knowledge to myself. I wanted to share it to everybody I could come across, and I've been doing that pretty well, I believe.
I love that. And so, with this book, can you tell us again the name of this book? So we'll make sure we write that down in the comments here.
Yeah, I might have been talking a little fast. So so the title of the book is called "Break the Cycle." You don't have to live with bad credit because again, you're breaking that cycle. You break that generational curse. So I think that topic for the title for the book is very fitting because that's the only you can do. You have to break the cycle.
Yes. And I'm looking for it now. So we can find your book on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
On
And
Amazon.
then yes, it is. And then so for some people that might want an autograph copy, they might just, send me the money directly, and then my assistant, would mail out the book to them too. So
Okay. Awesome. I am checking you out here. Guys, this is the book. You can go on Amazon and go ahead and order that. We're going to get the link to that here. If you're just joining us, guys, this is Keeping It Real Tea. We have Rony Francois here, the credit hero, and we're talking about his book, which is Break the Cycle. You don't have to live with bad credit. You can purchase this book on Amazon, and I'm dropping a link in the comments so that way you guys can get a copy of this book and really change your life. Again, he's helped over thousands of people, hundreds of people get into different things in their life, whether you're trying to purchase a car, if you're trying to purchase a home, if you just want to get your credit together because it's the right thing to do. He has talked about how his son is 9 years old and he's already learning things that we're learning as we get 29 and 30 and 35 and sometimes 40. And sometimes we never get it. But imagine if I was 9 and I knew about credit at 9, I would be a beast. By the time I get 18, I'll be into investments already and, doing things. And that is so powerful to teach your children about debt. And so this book, you said your children read it. So it is age appropriate where we can even read it as, our kids can read this book as well. So this is something that we can share with our families as well.
yes.
Okay. And then you said you wrote this book just so you wanted to help people. You wanted to inspire more people to learn about their debt. So tell us a little secret. Tell us some things that are in the book that we can expect to see. What's something in there?
I think one of the most important, everything in the book is important, but one of the most important thing is it tells people how to pull the credit report. Because 1 out of 10 Americans don't even know what's on the credit report. So it gives you 2 options. You can get your free credit report through the free annual creditreport.com, because most people don't know about that. It's available to everybody. Once a year, you get a copy from all 3 bureaus, but it doesn't have the scores. But if you want the score, there's another link. You can actually sign up. You can actually get your all 3 bureaus and your score for $1. So that's one of the most important things. You can't fix your credit if you don't know what's on your credit. So pulling and looking at it, and that's the best way to start.
That's one of the things I tell my clients when I have a consultation and we're talking about first time home buying, or if you're looking to buy, the first thing I ask is, what is your credit? And the majority of the people do not know. They're looking to buy a home and they don't even know what their credit is. A lot of times people are looking for the next best thing, everything that, when it's a wave and everybody's on that new wave and everybody want to ride that wave of getting houses, or everybody want to ride that wave of doing, what society says that cool, thing to do. And so when it comes to home buying, a lot of people reach out. And then when I ask, what is your credit score? It is unbelievable how many people do not know. And so I'm so glad that you talk about in this book, the free annual report.com, because that is something that I recommend to my clients to do. And I don't know if you knew, but during the pandemic, they were offering like you could do it again just in case something, was coming up on your credit or somebody was doing something, they were allowing you to run it. And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, it's a lot of things that we could take advantage of, but we don't know. And so I'm glad you do share that in the book.
And then some people, they might say, well, I can't, get the report because I don't have a computer, don't have a laptop. There's actually you can actually print out the form, fill it out, and mail in too, because that way they won't have the excuse for not getting it yet. Most people don't know that.
That's really good information. So there is no way possible you can possibly say you did not know how you could, pull this credit report. You can even go to the library and, use that. Or if you have an email it to yourself and go, print off at Staples. There's a lot of different things that you can, do to print that off. But it is good to know that you can just fill out the form and then it can come, to you in the mail. So now it's no way possible you can say, hey, I don't know that credit score. How do you feel about Credit Karma? Do you advise your clients to go on Credit Karma?
So I'm going to be honest with you.
Please be honest. This is the raw show. We keeping it real. If you say no, let me know why. And, just keep it a buck. Let's go.
Okay. So Credit Karma, you can use it to kind of get a gauge where you might be at or where you could be at, but it's not gonna be 100% accurate. That's the thing about Credit Karma. And then as far as the score, it gives you a Vantage score, which like over 90% of business use a FICO score. So it's different between the score modeling system. So the scores it shows you is
What
not the
type of
one that
score did you use? I'm sorry to cut you off.
they use a Vantage score, Vantage,
A Vantage score.
the
Okay.
Vantage score, yeah.
So,
And then
and
that,
it's a difference between a Vantage score and FICO score.
yes,
Okay.
because 90% of the business uses a FICO score. Like I said, it's probably like about 10% uses Vantage. So you go on Credit Karma, it might say you have a 750, and you might go to Wachovia, Wells Fargo's, and they pull your credit because they use different algorithm and they're using the FICO score. It
Right.
might be like a 620. So that's why I say, so when you're using Credit Karma, and another thing about Credit Karma, there's a reason why it's free. Because when you sign up, they actually sell your information to third party companies too. So that's how they're making their money. And so
Mm,
I wouldn't recommend using Credit Karma, but if you want to get kind of like an idea where you should be, where you might be, I would, use it. But then again, just keep in mind your score could be 10 to 50 points plus or minus either way because the score model that it uses.
correct. That was very, very good information because a lot of my clients do use that and they do, and people know a lot of it's a great whisper about, Credit Karma by now that the scores are not accurate. And so I've learned something today. So that Advantage score, do you know why that Advantage score is lower or what's the major difference or why a lot of people don't use that score?
Because they use this different algorithm. Because basically, like every institution might have like a different modeling score that they use to pull the credit score. Like that's why you might go like to the bank. You might go to one institution, you might have one score. You might go to a different institution, and the score might be plus or minus like 5 to 10 points. Because different businesses use different algorithms for the score in the calculator. They use like different factors.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I appreciate that. And I wanted to break that down because I don't think a lot of people know the difference between the Advantage score or the FICO score, and kind of what they know the difference. There's no real way to pin it on it, but I just wanted to kind of get an idea because I know some people have some questions about the difference between the two. But what we're saying is the best thing to do is to go on that freeannualreport.com where you can at least see what's on the score. And if you pay an additional dollar, you can get the actual credit report numbers. Correct?
Yeah. So if they go to my page under my link, there's actually there's two links. There's one for the free one, and there's another link for the one to pay $1 for
Okay.
7 days start before the school.
Okay, so we're going to make sure we also drop that link because I want to make sure everybody tuning in to Keeping It Real Tea is up to date on the news. Guys, if you're just tuning in, if you're sipping your tea with us, please, please, please stay tuned. We have Rony here. We're talking about so much great things. Rony here is the credit hero. And what area do you service?
All 50 states.
Awesome. He serves all 50 states, guys. So if you're looking to work with a coach, if you're looking to get your credit repair, if you're looking to get more education, if you want to purchase a book, we're dropping his website down below, guys. Please comment all in. If you're all in, if you want to take your credit serious, if you want to purchase this book, if you want to reach out and say, how can I better myself? We can better ourselves when we have better credit. We can provide a better future for our families and generations to come. It's not just about us. It's about our children and our children's children and providing that legacy for them. We have to be the example, just period. We have to be the example. And a lot of times you hear this, you watch podcasts, you listen to people talk, but how many people go back and really take that action? If you're tuning in with us today, I challenge each of you to go on freeannualcreditreport.com, get your free credit report, go on Mr. Rooney's page, go ahead and click on the links. Take advantage of the information on his website. You can be able to take advantage of that free credit report that we just discussed or do the dollar one. Take advantage, guys. The link is going to be below. Take action today. You want to know where you stand, especially if you're looking to purchase something. If you're looking to purchase a car, if you're looking to purchase a home, if you're looking to, get business credit, if you're just looking to establish yourself. Now, you go to, if you're looking to rent a place, they're looking for rentals now, 600 credit score and up, even 640. So you really want to be in a position where you're able to do. At one point, everybody say, "Oh, I'll get a private, landlord," and they don't care. They are running your credit. They want your credit to be just as good as it is as you're buying a house. And I say it all the time because I'm like, man, you go into MLS and they're asking for the same credit score that you need to buy a home. So if I need the same credit score to purchase a house, I might as well get a home. I mean, to rent a home, I might as well purchase it. The same criteria is there. So we got to be smarter about the way that we move. We have to be smarter. No, we wasn't taught when we were younger how to be able to have and establish our credit, how to maintain the credit. Because once you get the credit, Mr. Rooney, you also got to maintain it, correct? How do we maintain it?
Exactly. Yeah. Getting it is not always that difficult, but maintaining is very, very important. And then that goes back to the 5 factors that make up your credit score. The first one is your payment history, which is 35% of your credit score. So you gotta pay your bills on time. Missing one late payment can drop your score anywhere between like 20 to 100 points, depending on. Yeah, exactly. Missing late payment can really hurt you.
And that's why one payment can drop your score between 20 to 100 points. I wanted to recap that because I don't know if anybody heard that. Guys, please do a hashtag and write that at the bottom. If you miss one payment, your points could drop anywhere between 20 to 100. That's a lot. And you don't know what that range is going to be. It depends on, that company's algorithms to how they're tracking you and what their qualifications are, as far as what they're doing. And so it's no way to say it's what score to be, but we know it's going to drop. That's a good point. What else, Mr. Rooney?
And then the second one is your credit utilization, your credit usage, because credit bureaus, they only want you to use 30% of your credit limit. So if your credit limit is 300, so pretty much, $30 out of every 100. So if your credit limit is 300, you're only supposed to use $90, which is not a lot of money, but that just shows that you know how to, I guess, pretty much live within your means. But that 30% is just like the benchmark. You really want to keep your balance at like 10% or lower. That's how you're really gonna maximize it. So that's 65% right there. So if you're not paying your bills on time and you're going above that 30%, 65 out of 100. It's a no-win situation, and that's why those two like very, very important.
Just because I want people to really grasp that. I know you deal with this on a day-to-day. So when you talk, we talking like we could keep flowing, right? But I want to break it down because something that you also just said is so important. And what you just mentioned was the fact of having to, oh gosh, I lost a brainer. But when you just talked about the fact that if they don't keep that score below 30%, that's the threshold. But you really want to go lower and keep that thing 10%. So think about it. The rule is 30 to keep it below, but you want to go even lower than that so that way you're not running off that credit and that you're also paying that bill on time. You don't want to run up that debt. You want to use it because you want to show them that you're using it, but you want to keep it at 10%. Don't take the 30 out your mind because, sometimes if people hit 30, they want to stick to 30. You want to keep it at 10% and make sure you pay that credit card bill on time. Let me ask you a question because I had a client ask me this question and I was trying to look for a snippet of it and I couldn't find it for the show. But when people have credit cards, and they say a little rule of thumb to kind of help boost your credit score up. If you take and pay your credit card a certain amount of days and then you stop it and you take and pay another certain amount of days, like throughout the month. And now you're kind of trying to show that the credit company that you're paying 2 payments versus 1 in the same month. Is that a myth or do you know anything about that you can share with the viewers?
All right. So I've heard that before and I actually did extensive research on it. And actually, I used to actually believe it too at one time until I actually did some research study on it. So typically, if you call your credit card company, you're going to ask them how many times do they report to the credit bureau. 9 out of 10 times, probably 10 out, they're going to tell you they only report to the credit bureau 1 time. So even if you split your payment into 2 or 3 payments, yes, it's going to help you pay your bill off 1 time, but that credit card company is only going to report to the credit bureau 1 time. So that's a myth. Splitting your payment up is not. Why would they? Why would they spend the time? Reporting twice? That's just extra work they have to do. The goal is for them to keep you a high balance so they can charge you more interest. So no, they only report to the credit bureau once. Now there are some companies that may like that might when you have like installment loans. Sometimes there are certain companies. One company I know that do report to the credit bureau twice a month. But that's only like doing like installment loan. That's not with credit cards though. So there are some companies that do it, but not credit cards.
Got it. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, we were talking about the 5 things that make up the credit, and now we're on to number 3. We talked about number 1 being the make sure you pay your payments on time, because you don't want to make sure that you're not doing that. And then we talked about the 10%, keeping your credit card below 10%.
Yeah, your credit utilization. So the next one is 15% is your credit profile. Because like a long time ago, if you had like a 650, 700 credit score, you can go to the bank or anywhere you want and you get approved. But now what they're doing is actually look at your whole credit profile. Like, what have you been doing the last 12 months? What have you been doing the last 24 months? So that's why having that strong profile is really, really important. Having old accounts that's in good standings, that's very, very important. That's 15% right there. The other 10% is new credit, because periodically you have to get new credit. And the other 10% is having a mixture of credit, installment loan, revolving, like car payments, credit card payments. So you need to have a mixture of those. So those are the 5 components that make up your credit score. And that's what makes me very unique compared to the other 20 million people that do what I do. I actually give people the knowledge and the tools on how to maintain their positive credit. Because you give a man a fish eat for a day, teach him how to fish eat for life. I want to give you the tools and knowledge. That way you can maintain positive credit and you can share the same resources with other family members that might need it.
Correct. I love that. I love what you're doing. And again, I keep saying this, but the show is all about that impact. And when I go on social media and I see you making an impact in your community, and I see what you're doing and that you're helping people really get into their dream homes and get into that dream car, or be able to be financially free and talk about that financial literacy, it's so important. And so I love what you're doing. I definitely wanted you to come on and bring an impact to us. Something that you see with your clients, what is some data or maybe some statistics you say that you can share with us that we know about, like, just what we're dealing with as the world, as an economy, as a whole, as a nation? What are we dealing with as far as credit, and how bad is it?
Because credit is something that affects everybody. It don't matter your shape, your size, your color. But for some reason, it seemed like, certain race, I don't want to say they don't take credit seriously, but they just didn't really talk about it when they was young. Like for example,
Right.
when I was younger, we talked about money, how we didn't have money to do certain things, but we never talked about credit. Where I have friends in other races, where like they was raised up talking about credit financial literacy. So, and that's why this book is very, very important, breaking the cycle again. Just putting that knowledge out there to help people make a positive impact, giving that knowledge to make a difference, to break that generational curse.
I love it. And I'm challenging you guys twice. So we got 2 challenges. My first challenge was to obviously purchase the, actually to go online and figure out what your credit score was. And then my second challenge is to go on Amazon and purchase that book. I cannot tell you guys how it would truly bless your life to be able to not only gift yourself, but to also be able to gift others. I am a true believer that our life, we are not here for ourselves. We are here for other people. We are here to spread the gospel and the news of the Lord to each other, so that we can be able to empower and uplift and inspire each other. If you're not around people who empower you, uplift you, inspire you, if you don't have a social media platform of some positive people around your life that can just really help uplift you, I challenge you to get a new circle of friends. But you want to be able to get this book and be able to share it with your friends, be able to share it with your family, and be able to just, for me, it makes me feel good when I help someone. Don't you feel good, Rony, after you help somebody and they call you and they say, you know what, Rony, you are the credit hero. You put me in my dream house. You put me in my dream car. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel awesome. But to be honest with you, if you follow me on social media, like I'm always, giving praise to people when they doing stuff, accolades to people, congratulating people, and being in this situation I'm in, being able to help people, bless people, it just really is a real, real good feeling. but to be honest, the biggest feeling is just the fact that I'm able to install the values into my kids. I'm like, if I don't help nobody else with their credit the rest of my life, I'm happy. I'm happy just the fact I was able to introduce it to my kids. But like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my kids can actually Google me, Rony Francois, the credit hero, and like see some of my stuff that I've done. Like,
Amazing. Now, how do you feel when your son could pull that up and say, "That's my dad"?
yeah, I mean, like, because one day we was chilling, you know, he pulled me up, you know, he Googled me, and he's playing some of the videos, some of the podcasts and stuff. I mean, that's really dope. I mean, that's when I really tapped myself on the shoulder. I'm like, yo, this is
Absolutely, you
really
should.
cool. You know,
African American guy
yeah,
talking about financial wellness, talking about financial literacy, educating people. We don't really like to say a lot because we're afraid of what the community or people may say or think. But as African Americans, we are not taking credit seriously. I know we were trying to protect saying it, but I'm just gonna say it. For me, it makes me feel so good. And that's why I have this platform, because I want to educate people, and they will look at a platform because they can relate to you on social media. And so when you have that voice, you got to be able to pull the community together any way we can. So many other cultures out here, they'll have, pots of money that they all put in, and they help each other buy houses, and then they put it back after they invest and do some things. And in our community, we're not doing that. And I want to see us taking advantage more. So as a Black humble man, I want to thank you for being humble, because I know that is what got you here, and as far as you've been, because you're so humble and you're so authentic and you're just so real when it comes to working with people. And that generosity, it shows. You don't have to say who you are in order to see. When you see God's light shine through people, you just see it. And and social media is good, because we get to see people when they're not having a good day. If you make a mistake and vent and you don't mean to do it, we already saw it, because you put it out there. So we get to really see that personal side of people, and we get to understand a little bit more of who we're working with, as well as business and that personal. So you want to make sure that you are around people that are aligned, and that you are around people that you can be able to spread this knowledge to. Someone needs to hear about credit. Someone needs to go on Amazon today and purchase that book. Someone will be looking at the next 3 to 6 months from now and say, look, I did it. All you need to do is have commitment and take action. You want to commit to yourself. You want to commit to your family. Rony talked about, committing to sharing this information with his children, and how good it makes him feel to know that if he doesn't help another person in life, he has helped his children. That's deep. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people really grasp that, but when it comes to credit, people are going to do whatever they want to do, period. We can have podcasts, it, Rony, you can go in a room full of 20 people. One person might take what you said and walk out there and take action. The rest of the 19 still going to be looking at videos and seeing people do it, and seeing people do it, and seeing people do it, and keep seeing until maybe some of them fall off and say, all right, that's not for me, because they give up and quit. Or those get it eventually. But you want to be those ones that get it in the beginning. Just take action. Take action. There's nothing to think about. Take action. Take action for your children. If you don't want to do it for yourself because it's too late for me, okay, cool. Do it for your children. Do it for people around you that can definitely benefit from knowing what their credit score is, taking advantage of, those scores. Some people really are comfortable, and I believe the statistics, I wrote it down, over 40 million Americans have a credit score of 499 or lower, correct?
yeah.
I got that from your site. Over 40 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I can't tell you how many people I meet that they're in the fives. I haven't met anybody in the fours, but when I meet people in the fives, they're like, okay, credit score a little low. They want to whisper it. You want to walk in and be confident. I'm ready to get this. I got my savings. I got this. I'm ready to buy that. And I always tell people, the higher the credit score is, the lower the interest rate.
Yeah.
The lower the credit score is, the higher the interest rate. So people crack me up when they, the perfect commercials, when you see the commercial about the car, right? And they're like, oh, your interest rate going to be 0%, no money down, isn't that, blah, blah, blah. And everybody, oh, they go to the dealership and they run in there. Oh, y'all said, 0%, no money down. Yeah, but that's what credit score of, that's 780 or that, whatever. Your credit score at 500, you can't go in there thinking you're going to get what the commercial said. So, we just got to be more realistic with our situation, and we have to be more realistic with what we can do and where we're going. When you write that plan down, Don't just take the information that we're sharing today, but write a plan down. Take action. Put a date to it. I'm going to pull my credit report by the end of this week because people got things going on. You're just looking at this show. You're probably eating lunch right now at work. But write it down. I'm going to pull my credit report by Friday. I'm going to, go on Ronnie's site by, Friday and pull the one for the dollar because I want to make sure I get my numbers so I can, see. But you want to take action. If you have credit cards, you want to leave them below that 10%, mark. You want to make sure you pay your bills on time. Put your payments on auto pay. Sometimes we can't remember, to go ahead and pay. And it's just a lot going on, but auto pay them things. And, and get that together. But make sure that you're, keeping that card utilization down 10%. The threshold is 30, but we said 10%. So you just take that. For those that don't know how to calculate it, Ronnie, can you let them know how would they calculate their percentage?
Yeah, basically, it's $30 out of every 100. So if your credit limit is 300, it's basically $90. That's how you get that 30%.
Okay. And one more time for those that did not hear that, how would you calculate that?
So basically, it's like $30 for every 100. So if your credit limit is 300, you should never go above $90. But then again, then if you want to break it down to 10%, $10 for every 100. But like I said, because the reason I really recommend 10% or lower, because if you tell people 30%, they're gonna push it to 40 and 50%. That's just human nature. Mm-hmm. So if you have a habit of keeping it like 5%, maybe like 4%, emergencies do happen, you have to bring it up to like 20, 30%, then your mindset like, well, I got to bring it back down to 5, 10%, because that's what you used to doing. And that's why you want to, it's kind of like, it's almost like you reprogram yourself pretty much, to keep under 30%. Because like you said, the school system didn't teach us, our parents didn't teach us. So it's almost like we learning this stuff all over again. Correct. And that's why it goes back to this book. This book took me about like 3 years of research to go in this 90-page book, because there's so much information out there. And again, I had a friend, she read the book, and she said within 6 months, she was able to get ready for her first house just by reading the book. It changed her life.
Wow. Yeah, I'm about to start gifting this book. I'm about to start giving the book. I'm about to buy a whole bunch of your books, and I'm going to have a seminar, and I'm going to give them out. Free seminar books. I'm going to do that. I got to write that down.
Yeah, because the book, it gives you the meat and potato, what you got to do. It breaks down, tell you what you got to do, build a credit, what you got to do, keep the credit, and how you pull your credit. It tells you everything right there in that book. Like I said, my 11-year-old son, read some of the chapters in the book. He thought it was cool. Wow. My 15-year-old daughter read the book, and she thought it made sense. So, and then I've had grown adults that read it, that applied it. So, I guess anywhere between the age of like 11 on up, you can get something out of this book.
Wow. Well, I am definitely purchasing it. I'm making sure my children read about it. And I'm sharing it with all of my clients. So if anybody's having coming to seminars, I'm going to be gifting this book, or if they, do a one-on-one, definitely it's something that I think everybody would definitely benefit from, to just be able to get started. We're talking about, again, establishing and maintaining good credit. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in with us, if you need to get caught up, I am your girl, Yolanda. I'm here with Rony Francois, the credit hero, and we're talking about his book. He has a book, and the book's called Break the Cycle. You don't have to live with bad credit. I challenge everybody watching today to definitely go on Ronnie's website. It might be a little bit easier for you. He has 2 links already up on his website for you to be able to click so that you can be able to find out what your credit score is. We also going to put his link down so you can be able to purchase his book. This book is so important, again, to just talking about breaking that cycle and becoming debt free, learning about credit and just how to establish yourself and just maintaining that credit. It's so important. He has shared this book with his children, and we're encouraging everybody to share that book with your friends, with your family, with your children, with people that you love and care about. It's so important for us to really break that cycle. And I always call that generational curse, like we just kind of just get so conformed to what we see in life. And it's like, we're okay with being comfortable. I want you guys to be uncomfortable. I want you to take the most uncomfortable thing and order this book. Start it today. Take action. I am ordering it as we speak. I have it in my inbox now, and I'm adding it to my cart right now. My book is going to be here on Thursday. I am getting ready to purchase it, and I challenge each and every one of you to do the same. You can click on Amazon, purchase the book. I'm going to be ordering it for my clients. If you're an agent and you're looking at this show and you have clients that, at seminars that you can reach this book out to, definitely click on the link. Feel free to share it with your clients. I think it's so important because I know I have a lot of clients that's on, I call them like a fan wheel, and they're not ready right now. And they're working on getting ready. This is a great book for those that are not ready right now. They got a little bit more homework to do, right? They got to go back and get their utilization down. They got to go back and, get some things off of their credit. They might have to talk to a credit specialist. They might need one-on-one. They got a little bit to do. This is a great read for those type of clients. That way, this read will help motivate them, and they'll have the tools and the resources that they need to do it. Sometimes as realtors, we want to just focus on the house and selling the house for the client and being with the client. I don't want to focus on the credit repair part. And some realtors do. Don't, everybody teach his own. But me personally, I want to focus on a client. I want to be 100% a real estate agent. I don't want to be anything else in that transaction but that. So when it comes to credit and maintaining that, I want my clients to read a book, and I want them to go see talk to a credit specialist that can help them, and then come back when they're ready. And they're ready to buy, and they're ready with that knowledge and that education. Not just somebody, paying, I pay this money to this company, they do X, Y, Z, but educating themselves on what was actually done and learning that process and learning about their credit and learning about that FICO score or what other companies and businesses is looking for. We need to be on top of the game by being ahead of the game. A lot of times we're waiting for stuff to happen to then get prepared. Who's actually prepared? And this book will prepare you. I challenge everyone to purchase that book.
And then one thing I would do too, like for one of your guests, one of your followers, whoever is the most active, doing this show, they can contact you, and I will send them a free autograph copy of the book. Yes,
Did you guys hear that? So if you guys would love a free book, please tag right now and hashtag break the cycle. Hashtag break the cycle. We're going to pick a guest, and we're going to definitely send that guest a autographed hand copy book from Rony. So please, guys, hashtag break the cycle. Hashtag sipping tea. Hashtag I'm sipping. Hashtag keeping it real tea, guys. I so appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Mr. Rony, let us know, how can we find you?
They can go to my website, www.ronyfrancois.com, or they can find me on IG, Mr. Rony _credit hero, or they can just call me 443-738-5529, or they can just Google.
Get a number on the internet. Now listen, ladies, he has a woman, so don't call personally, okay? He is taken. I already saw it on his Instagram. He is taken. He happy. She looked good. He got a nice woman in his life, but call about business. But my man put the number out here for you guys to get in touch. He is very much always available. And like I said, he's community oriented. So he's about educating. He loves to educate. Like this is his passion. When you read the book, you will read that he has a passion to teach about this. He wants to make a difference in the community. And that's why I wanted to have him on the show, to be able to just put out more of what he's doing so that we could be able to support.
Go
ahead.
Another thing I do too, because sometimes when I come across educators, it's been a few teachers who actually sent them a free copy of the book too. So if you're an educator, current educator, not somebody that, retired like 30, 50 years ago, but if you're a current educator and you're interested in getting a free copy of the book, I could definitely see about my assistant sending you a free copy of the book too. Again, it's just about just sharing that knowledge, just getting that information out there.
Yes, I love it. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that the children have this, because they're the next generation. Our kids got to take care of us. I don't know if y'all realize that, but our children will be taking care of us at some point when we can't ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to nursing home. I want my kids to have a decked out house. I want their credit to be nice. So that way, when I'm sitting on the other side of their in-law suite, I can have my feet kicked up, you know what I'm saying? And know that I'm taken care of, and I'm not going to get put out the next day because we ain't making enough money. You want to live, and you want to live a joyous life. I want to just bring us and round into when it comes to our credit and it comes to our finances. God intended for us to have all that He has given us and to have it abundantly. So I challenge you guys. My third challenge for the day is for you guys to write down your affirmations about where it is that you see yourself financially with your credit, where you want to go, what your vision is, and write that down and have a prayer with the Lord on that. Again, God intends that everything that we do, that we bring God into it. And so I encourage everything that you guys do to include God, to write your affirmations and to pray to Him daily as you are on your journey to fixing your credit, as you're on your journey to your financial literacy, as you're learning more about generational wealth and multiple streams of income, and creating this whole credit so you could be able to create this pathway to get anything that you want. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is that when God created a way for you, that way was not for you. It was for you to bless someone else. So God did not do it, just like He didn't let His Son die for His son and Himself, but they died for us. He died for our sins. And so in return, we are not to do things for our own reasoning. We're to do things with intentions, but with intentions to bring more people to be able to do the same thing that we're doing. And that's each one teach one. So I challenge you guys today to each one teach one. Whatever you learned today, if you learned that you can go on the website and pull that free credit report, if you learned today about the utilization, if you learned today about the FICO score and the difference between the Advantage score and the FICO score, write and share those things. Share that with someone. Someone don't know this. And for us, we talk about it daily. And I'm asking Rony questions as if I don't know, but I want the viewers to really get that in-depth understanding of what we're sharing. And so again, I'm just going to go over, if you guys are just joining us, I have 3 challenges for you guys today. The first one is to pull your credit report by going on Rony's website. The second one is to order his book and to take action today. And the third one is to write down your positive affirmation, including a God with that, and to say a prayer about what it is and what your intention is moving forward with your credit score and financial literacy. Reach out to those that you need to reach out to get the help that you need. Rony's available. You can reach out to him on his website. He also has a one-on-one session. So if you do need more information from him, if you do want to learn something, you need personal information, you can reach out to him one-on-one on his website as well, where you can set up a free consultation where he could talk to you in depth about where you are particularly and get you set up into the next paths and the things that you need to do to set up. Rony, before we go, I want to bring up something that I saw on your page that was so near and dear to my heart. And that's about your company, FES company, how the different scholarships and things that they do for kids. So recently, Miss Emalina Simmons just won that $30,000 scholarship. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, so we have this partnership called YFL, Youth Financial League, where every year we pick out seniors in high schools, college, and freshmen. We actually give them scholarships, help them go towards college. Because again, they're just that giving back to the community piece is really, really important. So that's why we do it. And like I said, so like I said in that post, you see the companies cutting the checks, and I'm printing the books. So it's a win-win situation. That's what's really about. Just giving back to the community.
It's so important to give back, because we could talk about making money, fix your credit, riding a car, doing this, doing that. But what are you really doing if you're not giving it back?
Yeah.
What are we really doing if we're not taking that and we're not giving back? It's so important to give back. It's so important to give back. And I think that for us in giving back, we don't give to receive. But when you do it and you do it with a genuine heart, God just does things that's just overflowing abundantly above all you can actually even think of. God is just, when you're on his mission and you're doing his plan and you're blessing his people, he's working. He's always working to make sure anything, all your needs, family needs, your needs are taken care of and met, because you're doing his work and you're on a mission. And that mission is definitely being fulfilled. I appreciate you so much. I'm so proud to just be able to, again, have that positive life in hindsight when I go on Facebook and I'm scrolling down on social media and I'm on Instagram. It's very refreshing. Always coming across your page, just seeing positive information and how you're reaching out to the community. So guys, make sure you check Rony out. Again, go on his website. We have a couple challenges for you guys today. Hashtag break the cycle. Don't forget, hashtag break the cycle. I'm picking a guest today, and I'm going to be able to give them a hand autographed book from Rony himself. If you're an educator, reach out to Rony or myself. We'll make sure you also get a copy. If you looked at this podcast, share that with Rony, so that way he also wants to make sure that you get a copy of the book as well. Again, with the book, share it, guys. Share it with your kids. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Make sure that you know your scores. Make sure before you're going in to apply for anything, whether it be a house, car, credit, bank account, whatever it is, just know where you stand. If you need to talk to someone, you have Rony, it's other credit specialists, but reach out to Rony. He is a great start for you to see where you need to go and what you're working towards. Thank you guys so much for keeping it real tea. I appreciate you guys each and every week. I have a lot of great things coming up that I want to share with you guys. Each and every month, I'm going to be running seminars. My seminars are going to be home buying seminars. We're going to have a seller seminar. I'm going to have a rent to own seminar. And I'm also going to have a wholesaling seminar and an investment. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Every month, I'm going to have different seminars that's just going to bring more and more education. Rony, let us know you have anything coming up. Anything that I can support. I know you also have NRG, which this is a real estate, but we talk about everything. What we got?
I'm an expansion director with NRG, Network Referral Group. Basically, an organization. We're in like 22 states, 3 countries, just helping different business owners get together. So that's really, really dope. And I'm currently working on my second and third book right now.
I love it.
So my second one is going to include my kids. I have to talk to them, see, if they want to be part of the book, talk about the royalty and stuff like that. Because sometimes when I ask them to do me favors, sometimes they tell me no. Because my kids, they don't really like to be in the spotlight. They like to support them from the back. So I have to ask them.
Right.
So that way, that book, all the royalty from that book is going to go to them. None of the royalty is going to come to me. So it's just like another.
I love
another income stream for them that that's not even going to be dependent on me. So that's going to be really, really dope. So I want to send that to the editor. Hopefully I can send that to her this weekend so we can get that book done real quick.
I like it. Well, I got to definitely get you to come back on after you publish these books and we talk about more information that you have in them. Thank you so much for tuning in and coming and being a part of the show. I really appreciate you. And yeah, let's get it. Peace.
Thank you.